With patch 1.7, Tailworld redid the entire charm tree, and I believe it is now one of the strongest trees in the game. Charm itself is very important because it improves your relations with NPCs. For every 2 points, you get 1% more relation when you do anything for NPCs. So that's 50% more for every 100 points. And it is very easy to gain charm, releasing lords, prison breaks, quests. Very, very quick to gain charm in the game. And you gain a lot at the beginning just by getting married or setting up marriage for your big brother. We're going to run through these and why they are so powerful. At 25, you get Self Promoter, which you will gain 5 influence by winning a tournament. The other perk is a Governor perk, in which you gain 1 morale while in a besieged settlement. Gaining influence is really, really important early game, especially when you're going to become a mercenary, since that's how you get paid. For virile, you get 30% more likely to have children. Now, this is very important in a death game because of the new way that they have your wife being able to get pregnant. It is taking a lot longer for that to actually happen. So 30% more likely is really strong. The other one is a Governor perk. 10% chance to get 1 relation with a random notable in a governed settlement per day while continuous projects are active. That is pretty good. The 10% is a little bit weak. So I think for a governor, you're probably going to want to have self-promoter, as I believe that 10% just isn't going to tick enough to work. For the 50, this is where it gets real spicy. You can gain 1 renown and influence for each issue resolved. That is when you do quests, which is extremely powerful to gain influence and renown just by questing early game. The other one is a party leader perk. Every time you defeat an enemy lord, you gain 1 relation with a random notable of your faction. So you're going to gain when you defeat people, and you're going to gain renown and influence by resolving quests, which is pretty darn amazing. Warlord. This one is just game breaking. Influence increase gained from battles by 30%. Why is that so powerful? When you're a mercenary, the chances of you being able to achieve 3,000 to 5,000 on your mercenary contract a day is very easy to do. And if you are also Valandian, you get 15% more on your contract. So even just fighting medium-sized looter battles that have 15, 20, 25 looters, you're probably still able to gain 10 or 15 influence on that battle. So you're going to be able to make a ton of money as a mercenary. And I might go ahead and do a mercenary challenge to show you how easy it is to actually make money. The other perk is a party leader perk. Every time you defeat an enemy lord, you gain 1 relation with a random lord of your faction. 75. 20% chance to avoid persuasion critical failure. I actually prefer this. And the reason why I prefer this over a persuasion success is if you critical fail at any point in a charm check, the entire charm check is failed. It instantly stops. So while it's nice to get a persuasion success, a double, you do not want to ever crit fail. And that is why I love choosing that. A 5% chance per day to increase relations with a random NPC of negative relation with you within the settlement. That is a personal perk. So it's nice if you have negative relations. If you don't, then it's not going to do anything. The other one is going to be 10% better chance for a persuasion success. So a double persuasion success is good, but as I said before, I just don't want to crit fail. Now, with meaningful favors, the other perk is actually a governor perk. Relations with powerful settlement NPCs improve over time. A governor, obviously, you would want to have meaningful favors. However, for myself, I will always want to have forgivable grievances. I do not want to ever crit fail. At 100 in Bloom, increase any relation gain with the opposite gender by 20%. So those are the same as they were before. The other one is a governor perk. 2% chance per day to increase relations with a random notable of opposed sex within the settlement. So once again, with these, the governor perk, you're just going to have to choose if you want male or female. And that might be whether or not you notice what town might have more men or women in it when you're going to go ahead and make them a governor. But of course, notables can change within a settlement depending on the prosperity. The other one is you will gain 20% with the same gender, and it's the same with the governor perk, except it's the same sex. So with this one, I always prefer the same gender, and the reason why is because there really are more male leaders than female leaders in the early part of the game. As the game progresses, I think there will become more female leaders. So if it were to be my son or my heir who would take over, I definitely might look at taking In Bloom. But I think in the early part of the game, I would want to have it with the same gender. At 125, 50% less influence cost to initiate kingdom decisions, which is really important because it costs, I believe, 100 influence to actually start a kingdom decision. So now it is only going to cost you 50. So that's going to save you 50 influence right off the bat. And then the other one is a party leader perk, increase recruitment level from rural notables by 1. Are notables that are in villages. So you're going to get 1 extra recruitment slot when you go to villages. Why is that really important? Because noble lines come from castle villages. You don't get noble lines in town, which this is what urban will be. So I am always more likely to take this because it's going to allow me to get more noble line recruitment. This one is the opposite of this one, in which you will get +1 for urban notables, which is in town. However, the other perk is 30% less influence cost when voting for proposals made by other people. So when other people make decisions, so either way, you're going to save by doing this. However, as I said before, I think when it comes down to it and I want more noble lines, I think I'm going to want to go with Firebrand. At 150, when you clear a hideout, you gain 3 relation with the nearest town owner clan. If it is you, increases town loyalty by 1, which is really cool because you gain 2 relation from all nearby notables when you clear a hideout. And now you're going to also gain 3 relation with the town owner. So that is really, really good. And reduce item barter penalty with lords of the same culture with you by 25%. So when you trade with them, you're going to get 25% less barter penalty. And that is with the lords. That's not in town, but that's when you initiate a barter with another lord. The other one is hiring mercenaries is 20% cheaper and reduce item barter penalty with lords of a different culture with you by 10%. So it is only 10% here. And I don't normally deal with a lot of mercenaries. as I will either recruit lords, or I will go ahead and let my companions run their own clan. So for the most part, I'm going to go with effort for the people. Good-natured. When voting for a proposal you support fails, recover 100% of the influence spent. I think that's pretty much safe to say that is really good to get all your influence back. And you will gain additional relation when you increase relations with merciful lords. So this is going to be the opposite of tribute. It's whether or not you have more merciful lords or more cruel lords in your kingdom. With tribute, increase relationship bonus by a 20% chance when paying more than enough in barters. So this one is a little bit weird just because of the way that Tail World has worded it. So it doesn't look to be that it increases by 20%, but you have a 20% chance of increasing it even more when you pay it enough. So the wording on this you need to be very careful with, because Tail World once again has worded something very differently. So the relationship bonus by 20% chance, not by 20% when you pay more than enough for barters. At 200, characters in your own faction require -1 persuasion success. What that means is if you normally have a 4 charm check step that you have to go through, you only have to get 3 of them and not 4. So it means 1 less charm check you have to go ahead and do. The secondary perk, although, is a governor. For every project completed, increase notable relation with the owner by 1. That is a governor perk, which you're not really going to be looking at, where the natural leader is going to be a clan leader perk. Characters in other factions require -1 persuasion success, and your companions gain 20% more experience. So why is natural leader just better for you? Well, obviously that is a governor. This is a clan leader, and companions gaining 20% more experience. That is what is needed, because companions you want to level up, because when they become their own clan party, you don't get to pick their skills. They're going to have to level up on their own. So you want them to gain as much skill as possible. Also, for the most part, with persuasions, you're going to be persuading with other factions. And by other factions, they mean kingdoms. So if I'm going to go and try to recruit a lord, he's not of my faction. So this is not going to help me. This, however, is going to help me. And 225, the good old parade. When you are waiting in your settlement, they get +5 loyalty bonus. One of the best perks you can take, and it almost guarantees that you're never going to have a rebellion while you're waiting in the town. So when you first take a town, just waiting in there, that +5 bonus will virtually guarantee, as long as you are there, it's not going to rebel. It's going to give you the time it takes to stabilize the town. And the other perk, 5% chance per day to gain 1 relation with a random lord in the same army. So whenever you're in an army, it's obviously only a 5% chance, so that's 1 a month to gain 1. That's not that great. Gaining 1 relation per month, not a real big deal. The other one is public speaker. Renown gained from battles are increased by 30%. The other one is a governor perk. 10% more effective forum, marketplace, arena, temple, and festival effects. So obviously, for a governor, you want to take public speaker. Now, when you originally look at this, the renown gained from battles increased by 30%, you're going to think to yourself, wow, that's amazing. 30% more renown? What you have to remember is when you get to clan tier 6, that's it. You don't go any higher. So once you get clan tier 6, this is now a completely wasted perk. This doesn't work anymore because you don't need more renown. And this is a governor perk, where this, even if you go to any settlement at any time during the game, you're going to be able to give that settlement a +5 loyalty bonus. So your settlements are always going to benefit from this. This will eventually go away. That is why I love Parade. And 250, this has been added with 1.7. You gain double relations with a lord when you aid them in battle. So when they are fighting a battle and you join that battle, you will gain double the relation you normally would with them. Extremely powerful. So you could gain upwards of 20 to 40 relation, depending on how much they're outnumbered and how much they're losing. And then also, 1 free companion. Absolutely amazing. No choice, just 1 free companion. And finally, Immortal Charm. Every 5 skills after 250 gives you 1 influence point per day. So at 300, you would end up getting 10 a day for free. Once you hit 275, it still gives you 5. Now, why is that so powerful? If you're able to get 300 and still become a mercenary, you're going to end up getting immediately 5 a day. And then if you have Warlord, you're going to gain that influence from battle. I wouldn't doubt that you should be able to maintain enough influence that you could realistically make over 5,000 a day just off your mercenary contract. And it wouldn't shock me that people could be able to get anywhere between 7 and 10,000 a day just by being a mercenary. And that is why I believe Charm is one of the most powerful perks now in the game. So that is an overview of the new perks from 1.7. I hope you all enjoyed it. As always, take care and thanks for watching.